live learning experiences where we've globally come together to learn how to release a self-doubt, ignite superconfidence, and painlessly allow our wildest dreams to come true through emotional, financial, cultural, and business intelligence. And on this episode of Mindful Monday, we are delving into how to improve your self-esteem when working with adults who still engage in peer pressure as if they're still in high school. You know those people, right? You know those people. We're going to talk about that on this lesson. And when we return from our short break, we'll delve deeper into today's topic. So stay tuned with us and don't go away. In this episode, we're going to further explore how to understand and interpret workplace dynamics and make sure that they don't emotionally affect you, especially when you're working with those people prone to being a bully. Yeah, there's a lot of bullies lately. Number 2, we're going to understand why active listening and understanding body language is the most important communication technique that you can learn. And how to project self-confidence even if inside you feel like you are a nervous wreck, you're about to break down and cry during a hostile interaction with a crazy lunatic. There's a lot of those in the workplace at the moment. Saving your sanity, how to set healthy emotional boundaries when you feel that your time and your energy is being abused by people with too many complicated personal problems. And please make sure that you stay tuned until the end of this episode. We have a complimentary gift we would like to share with you. The 10-minute self-validated meditation that helps you eliminate feelings of guilt for wanting to experience a personal peace of mind when everyone around you wants you to be caught up in the mental drama and the emotional hell. A $27 value, absolutely free to you and for you, just for tuning in today. And we open our episode with a quote: "Emotional drama is expensive and unnecessary. Avoid it at all costs, especially when it comes to other people's problems, because you truly don't have the ability to solve anyone else's drama. Only they can. You can only solve your own drama and let other people solve their own dramas." And that quote is by me. And I want you to remember this: you are not alone. You've got this. At FGL, we believe that inside of everyone is a power, a presence, and a potential to achieve anything that we set our hearts and our minds to. We are on planet Earth to essentially grow, unfold, and evolve into our full potential. However, sometimes growth comes wrapped in pain, challenges, and oftentimes change we didn't necessarily ask for. And I call these growth opportunities life squeezes. Life will usually squeeze you from the outside to determine what's inside. And when we experience life squeeze, we experience an emotional sensation somewhere on the body that creates a what? A story script. We then get to decide what kind of action we want to take from that story script we have running in our mind. When we refuse to take action, we remain in pain. And when we make a decision and take the necessary action, we experience the next level of growth in all areas of our life. So welcome pain. Welcome the challenges in your life. They're only there to make you grow.
When you start with Ubuntu, you're already a visionary leader of tomorrow. We've created a global platform to connect the world's most disruptive geniuses, to shatter stereotypes, master collaboration, and lead like visionaries. In this app, Future Gen Leaders creates exclusive digital magazines, specialized transformational programs, and content exclusives. Now available on every device, for everyone, anytime. How will you create a bold tomorrow?
Hey there, you creative visionaries. I am Temi Buthelezi, Chief Visionary Officer at Future Gen Leaders and the founder of the Future Gen Leaders Foundation. And OMG, there is nothing worse than working with people who have, emotional issues. There's nothing worse than working with people who still have emotional issues. And I've had my own experience with people who still want to behave as if they are in high school. The first few years of building Future Gen Leaders, I had brought somebody into my company who had a lot of issues like mental health issues, and they hadn't processed a lot of their pain from childhood. And I mean, everybody is going through pain that they've experienced in childhood, and we all at some level are processing our own pain through childhood. But this human being thought that it was okay for her to tell me how to run my business and try and steal from my issue, which literally wanted to steal my business. I was like, this person is so crazy. And I mean, so we've all had our own experiences. So I never teach anything from a textbook. I always make sure that I go into my personal experiences and say to myself, when have I experienced this? When have I experienced something similar to what somebody else is experiencing? And in this case, where you're just working with people who are bullies. Some people are outright bullies. They will bully you and try and tell you how to run your organization. They will try and tell you how to run your team. They will try and tell you how to do your job. They will just be outright bullies. So there's the extroverted bullies, right? And then there's the manipulative, silent, introverted bullies. Those are the worst. Those are the worst ones, because those ones are willing to manipulate you emotionally. They're willing to cry. Those are the worst, because you don't see it coming. It's like the tears and the sad stories and all of that stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, these people are just such like a drain on your mental energy. If you're a CEO and you're working with these kinds of people, you probably need to get them out of your life. And if you are one of these people, because every single person on planet Earth is one of these people on some level of their life. I know sometimes I have been an emotional drain on my friends and on my family when I'm going through my own emotional hell. So I never can say outside there is everybody dealing with all of this emotional stuff, and I am not. I learned from myself. So it's either I experience it with somebody else and then I say, oh, okay, this is not fun. And then I have to ask myself, when have I been an emotional drain on somebody else? When have I been manipulative towards somebody else in business or just in my personal life? But it's really difficult to deal with these people. And as we're going to go through this live learning experience, I'm going to share some tips on how to spot this kind of behavior in the workplace, but also when you spot this kind of behavior in the workplace, how to have the self-esteem to just say, no, enough. I'm not interested in your crazy. Your crazy has nothing to do with me. Go and fix your childhood wounds and leave me out of it. Because, it's difficult. It's not easy dealing with childhood wounds. It's absolutely not easy dealing with childhood wounds. So now we're going to talk about how to understand and interpret workplace dynamics and make sure that they aren't emotionally affecting you, especially when working with people who are prone to being bullies. So I believe that people are bullies because they have, number one, we talked about this childhood wounds, right? So there's always something going on at home. And then that person will take that something that is going on at home and bring it to the workplace. If you in a healthy marriage, in a healthy relationship at home, if you're a teenager, because I just came back from being in South Africa for almost 3 months, and I was working with young people, like the youth in South Africa and teens. And if you're a teen watching this, if you meet a bully at school, it's usually starting at home. That person's parents never loved them, whether sometimes it's their mothers who are narcissists that abuse these people, and then when they get abused at home, they come to work and verbalize the stuff. And if you're a teen, if you're getting abused at home, you'll probably be a bully when you go to school. So it happens all throughout life, whether you are in high school or primary school, high school, and in the workplace in adulthood, right? So usually bullies are people with chronic low self-esteem, like seriously chronic low self-esteem. If you have a healthy dose of self-esteem, you fundamentally understand that when you hurt somebody else, you are basically hurting yourself. And you understand that you don't want to be seen as a person who's got mental health issues, right? Because you have self-esteem. When you have self-esteem, you show up wherever you are with confidence. When you show up wherever you go, at work, at school, in your community, in your relationships, with all of this stuff that I'm going to be talking about, we're going to get in it. And you're just vomiting verbal violence, and you're manipulative, and you use your sad story to get your way, and you start crying. Women love this stuff. I don't know why we do this as women, but the manipulation and the crying and the sad story. I had that woman that was in my business last year tried to manipulate me by actually putting pigtails on, right? So I was kicking her out of my business. And then she was figuring out, oh, I'm about to get kicked out of this business, of this venture. So the day that I was going to let her go, she literally put pigtails on, 2 pigtails like an 8-year-old, and she started batting her eyelashes as if I was going to fall for that. I'm like, I am not a man. I have my own vagina. I'm not intrigued by, this, I don't know, like manipulation, or I just didn't understand what was going on. It was really crazy. But usually when we are in pain at home, in pain in some area of our life, we will either try to bully people. Men love the outward bullying. They love the yelling and the shouting and the crazy outward bullying. Women get really, really manipulative, and they cry and they tell you the side story, and they show up with pigtails like they're an 8-year-old. I'm like, come on, seriously, like you're playing with me right now. Like let's get this together, right? That is a sign of chronic low self-esteem. Nobody does that when they're in high self-esteem. You don't have to pull these manipulative scams if you are in high self-esteem, right? So here's what you'll notice. These people always have personal drama. Like when I start getting into personal drama and I'm fighting with my family members and I'm fighting with my husband and I'm fighting with my friends and I'm fighting with people at the grocery store, I know, whoa, some self-esteem issues is coming up. There's self-esteem issues that I'm not dealing with, and that sometimes I don't even know what that self-esteem issue is. It's a block. It's like a blind spot, right? And I don't know what it is at that moment. But for me, usually in my own personal life, when I'm looking at myself, because I experience self-esteem issues too. So that's why I can spot them outside quickly, because I can look at myself in the mirror and say, Tembi, self-esteem issues, darling, self-esteem issues. So if you have girlfriends all the time or boyfriends, if you have people at work that you deal with that are constantly bullying, it's low self-esteem. These people always have drama. They have dramas with their boyfriends, they have dramas with their girlfriends, they have money dramas, they have mother dramas, they have father dramas, low self-esteem. And if they constantly are verbalizing this stuff, right, just low self-esteem. Okay, they wake up to attract drama and create drama in their life. And when you are in drama, you want to share that drama with other people. Low self-esteem, because when you're in high self-esteem, you can go, oh, okay, I'm dealing with this self-esteem issue, let me go fix it myself. And when I show up at work, I don't need to try and pressure other people because I fundamentally feel bad about who I am. Yes? Okay, number 2, they are very self-centered, right? Very self-centered. They'll show up with pigtails and cry and try and manipulate you and tell you their sad story about their children and about oh my God, their stories are so elaborate too. I'm just like, whoa, really? Yeah, crazy. right? They're very self-centered. They can't wait. Usually, when I start doing this, I love to talk. Like I'm a talker. I'm a talker, right? But if I usually can't find myself having a conversation with someone where I allow somebody else to finish talking and then I think about what they're saying and then I talk to that person, if I'm just like ranting, like then I know that my self-esteem issues have arisen. So you will usually tell people with low self-esteem, they can't let you finish talking. They need to just keep telling you what it is that is going through in their minds. Usually that's another sign of bipolar too. People who are diagnosed with bipolar and some people who don't know that they're diagnosed with bipolar, they talk a lot, right? So you have the outward bullies with low self-esteem and then the manipulative introverted bullies with low self-esteem. The manipulative bullies with low self-esteem, they don't talk a lot. They don't. They want to listen a lot so that they can use what you're telling them to manipulate you. That's the problem with the low self-esteem introverted bullies. I've watched this stuff. I've studied this stuff. I said, no. Low self-esteem. If you have high self-esteem, you will engage in a proper conversation. Give and take. Give and take. Give and take. But if you're an introverted, low self-esteem bully, you're just going to sit there and listen and keep smiling. And then what you're doing consciously is you're trying to find blind spots and you're trying to find pain spots so that you can manipulate that other person. It's just low self-esteem. You're going to get caught, right? People like this usually get caught. But that's how you'll notice these people, right? They always, number one, have drama. Oh, they wake up to create drama. They wake up to attract drama. Their life is just filled with drama, right? They can be on soap operas. Men too are like this. Gay men too are like this. So it's not only women all the time, right? Number two, they are very self-centered. It's all about them, all about their problems, all about their mother problems, their father problems, their children problems. It's like, I don't care about your problems. They're not real. Everybody's got problems in the world. Why are your problems so important? This is what you have to understand. So number three, when they can't find a way to verbally manipulate you or verbally put you down, right? The outward extroverted bullies are always finding a way to put you down. Like, right? So they will usually, if you start talking like, oh, I went to South Africa last week. Oh my God, I went to Kenya on a cruise. Okay, you did. You went to Kenya on a cruise. Yeah, I went on a safari. So their stories are always bigger and bigger and bigger. The introverted bullies, the introverted ones with low self-esteem, they will put you down with these snide little comments. Like this crazy that I had in my business was like, you shouldn't do any videos. I was like, okay, that's so wild. Who said? I've been doing YouTube videos for over 10 years. Like, why would I not do videos? Do you see what I mean? So, but when you study this stuff, and I look at this stuff in myself, when somebody comes to me for advice and they say, should I do this? And I say, yeah, no, I don't think it would be good for you to do it. I have to always ask myself, why am I telling that person not to do that? Is it because I am jealous of that person? And I'm jealous of their ability and I'm jealous of their capabilities? Or is it really that maybe that is not suited for them at this moment? They can grow into whatever they're wanting to do. So, but most of these people with extremely low self-esteem, extremely chronic low self-esteem, they always find a way to put you down and make it about them. Right? They always do this. They always find it. And the introverted ones are very manipulative with that stuff. They be like, well, I don't think it's good for you to do that. Men too. This is not only just women. It's human nature. I do it too. And I always have to ask myself, when I'm saying to somebody, maybe this is not for you, I'm asking myself, is this for this person's highest good? Or is this because of this, whatever this person is thinking they're wanting to do or asking me for advice, is it challenging my own self-worth? So I'm always asking myself, especially as an executive coach, especially because I've been coaching for so long too, I'm always asking myself this question, because when you don't ask yourself this question as a leader, especially now that I'm working with young people, I'm always asking this question. I have to ask myself this question. It's important. Number four, if they fail to So if they fail at competing with you, they copy you. They just do everything that you do. Okay, so one guy said to me, I was at the grocery store, and I was talking to this guy. I was like, why do we copy each other as human beings? He says, but copying is the highest form of flattery, whatever it is. I don't know what that the saying is. But here's what happens when you copy somebody else. When you copy somebody else, what you're basically saying is that I am not good enough. There's nothing good about me, so I have to go and copy other people's things. I have to be like somebody. I have to speak like that person, and I have to be like that person. Who are you then? Where is your sense of self? That means you have no sense of self. It's so simple for people to be able to see then low self-esteem. You are uniquely created. You are an individual expression of the divine Father, Mother, God. You do not need to copy anybody else. When you start copying other people, that is a clear sign that you are experiencing some deep, chronic, low self-worth issues. Number 5, they lie a lot. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. The lying. When I start telling lies, I don't tell lies I tell stupid lies. My husband will ask me, did you eat? I'm like, yeah, I did eat. And he's like, but you didn't eat. There's no, okay, those are just silly lies, right? But chronic low self-esteem, people with this kind of disease lie about everything. And you don't even know why they're lying. It's just they open their mouth and they lie. Anytime I start telling little white lies or not telling the full truth, I know deep somewhere inside of me, I'm dealing with the self-esteem issues. I call these things also thresholds of consciousness. That means I'm ready to go to the next level, but inside of me, I'm still not resolved in my ability to handle this new level of growth. So you start lying, you start doing all of these strange little things. I only teach what I've seen in myself. I don't teach this stuff from a book. Yes, I've studied psychology and I read a lot of books on psychology, but I also look at myself through meditation and through contemplation and through self-observation. And I also have a really good network of friends. I have incredible friends and I have incredible coaches that hold me accountable. They're like, you're lying. You're not telling the truth here. So you'll see a lot of people with self-esteem issues, like chronic, really deep self-esteem issues. They lie a lot, is they compulsive liars. Okay, so why active listening and understanding body language is important, the most important communication skill that you can learn. So here's what goes on when you have when you learn to actively listen. Somebody will tell you, usually people will tell you whatever's going on in their life. And if you're a leader, if you're a good leader, you'll be able to thread through the lies, thread through the competition, thread through all of the dysfunctions that show up as a result of low self-esteem. And then you'll be able to see, oh, this person is dealing with this self-esteem issue, and I know how to help them. Why? You can never help anybody else if you haven't learned to see your own sense of self, right? So the only reason why I know I'm a damn good coach is because I look at myself and I say, Tembi, that is just low self-esteem, honey. It's just a low self-esteem. And I have conversations with myself about this stuff when I start telling fibs, when I start wanting to compete with other people, when I start wanting to put other people down. I know I'm going through a self-esteem issue, right? I'm really going through a self-esteem issue. Then I have to look at myself. So when you get really good at sitting with yourself and looking at your own self-esteem issues, what you're going to find is that people will tell you what is going on. So if somebody is constantly lying at work, that means something's going on at home and they need to look pretty. How you doing? I'm fine. I'm like, you can see in the face that no, not fine, about to crack, mental health issues. And then you can choose to either get that person out of your life and out of your company before they wreck your company, or you can choose to help that person grow. Because we all essentially are here to help each other grow. Some people's dysfunction is too much. You gotta let them go. Go fix your self-esteem issues. Go get a therapist. I am not a therapist, right? And some people's self-esteem issues, they resonate with your self-esteem issues, and you can help each other grow through that. So that's, I believe, what good leadership is, and what good active listening skills allows you to achieve, because we all are here to help each other grow. And when you can point out to me this, I had one teacher, it was my he was my economics teacher when I was going through college, and I said to him, I want to go work on Wall Street. And he said to me, I think you're one of the smartest African women I've ever met. I haven't met a lot of African women, but I think you would do incredibly well on Wall Street. You're a freaking genius. And he said to me, but I have to tell you this. I literally have to be honest with you about this. And I said, what? He said, you've got such low self-esteem, it's scary. I looked at this man, and he was Caucasian, right? So I got my black thing going, and I was like, I just didn't have some white man telling me that I have low self-esteem. Does he know where I'm from? Does he know my pain from South Africa, or white people telling us that this and this and this? Does he know? I went through this mental crazy in my head for literally 15 minutes, because we had this conversation before class, and then we went into class, and I was sitting there sending him energy daggers. I was like, oh my God, this man, I am going to write to the dean and all of this stuff. And then I thought to myself, maybe he's seeing something in me that I can improve in myself, and then be able to do something about it. So after class, I thanked him. I said, thank you, Ken. I have a video. You can watch a video that I did with him. I said, thank you, Ken, for, pointing out what I need to work on. I went to the library. I got 32 books on different books on self-esteem issues, on self-esteem. And I literally worked on my self-esteem for a whole year. And what happened then? I ended up working for a hedge fund on Wall Street. But if that man hadn't told me and watched me speak and watched me engage in class with all of the other students, I probably wouldn't have and had the confidence to tell me that I needed to learn some self-esteem, build my self-esteem. And I didn't have the confidence to receive that wisdom from somebody who had worked on Wall Street too. I don't know if I would have been able to work on Wall Street. So some great leaders will lead you, will push you, even if it's painful emotionally, to the next version of your life. So here's how to project self-confidence, even if inside you feel like you about to break down, cry during a hostile interaction with a lunatic. So if you're dealing with these people that come into your life with all of their emotional issues that they bring to work, and they become bullies, or they become very manipulative, and they just gossip and peer pressure. Come, let's go drinking. No, I do not want to go drinking at 4 o'clock with unhappy people. It's not what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to happy hour at 4 o'clock with unhappy people. It's just not what I want to do. So how do you project self-confidence, even if you feel like, oh my, I'm about to break down? I believe in mirror work. So what is mirror work? You stand in the mirror every single morning and every single evening, and you affirm who you are. So what does that mean? I used to work in a call center, and when I was working in this call center, I used to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock when the call center closes, people be like, let's go drink. I did that for about 5 months. And then I was like, I'm literally making $12 an hour, and I'm wasting 3 hours of work on alcohol. So I said, I don't have that self-esteem to tell these people that I really don't want to hang out with them. Firstly, they're miserable people. I really don't want to hang out with miserable people. Number 2, I would rather go home and read a book and learn about the stock market so that I can get out of the call center. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working in a call center. I worked in call centers for a long time. But I was like, I don't actually want to live in the call center till I'm 50. So I need to go read books, and I need to go do stuff at home so that I can get out of the call center environment. But I didn't have the self-esteem to tell these people, listen, I'm not interested in this. So what I started doing is looking at myself in the mirror every single morning. And I know, they would ask me, are you coming to happy hour tonight? Eventually I started saying to myself in front of the mirror, I am capable of saying no. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you, but you go ahead. No, thank you. Eventually, after a week of saying this 50 times in the morning, 50 times in the morning, 50 times at night, I'm telling you, 100 times a day, I had enough self-esteem to say, no thank you. They would offer me weed. No thank you. And I didn't say it in a way that made them feel bad or made myself feel better, but I was just protecting my own space and projecting confidence. Confidence. Even while I was working at the call center. And then, I ended up on Wall Street. Mirror work works. Look at yourself in the mirror. First thing in the morning, 50 times. Say what you want. Say what you're not willing to have. No thank you. No is a powerful word. 50 times at night when you come back. Yes? Okay. Saving your sanity. How to set healthy emotional boundaries when you feel your time and energy is being abused by people with too many complicated personal problems. Okay, here's the thing. This I call the emotional confidence checklist. Okay? The emotional confidence checklist. Here's the thing. People's emotional issues have nothing to do with you. They have nothing to do with you. What you are experiencing at home, that you bring to work, that you bring to school, that you bring wherever, your church, all of the communities that we sort of hang around, your issues have nothing to do with me. And so, if your issues originated from your home life, whether your parents or whether your childhood wounds or whether your husband wounds, whatever the wounds that you're dealing with, there's nothing I can do for you. You can come and tell me your problems and I can sit there and listen empathetically, and then I can share what has worked for me if I've had the same experience as you. But if I have not had the same experience as you, what I usually do is I send people to the library. I'm like, go get a book on that. Maybe you should go get a book and read up about how other people have gone through that experience, are not sitting in the muddy waters of their pain. So you've got to understand that people's problems have nothing to do with you. They have nothing to do with you. And sometimes I think as women, we love to help each other. Come to my house, let me help you. Come to my house, let me help you. We can drink tea together. Okay, it's healthy to do this if you have healthy, sane friends, right? Okay, healthy, sane friends. But it's not healthy to do it when you have people with mental health issues. There's a lot of people with mental health issues. Bipolar is a huge, huge one. And people are undiagnosed. And they're walking around here, going into people's companies with their bipolar behaviors, right? And it's not something to be like, I don't make light of mental health issues. I really don't make light of mental health issues. I've had my own mental health issues with depression, like suicidal thoughts. Yeah, I have. But I've pushed myself through that. But you've got to understand, everything is energy. Everything is energy. So if I come into your mental space and I start vomiting all of my problems, I'm going to feel better and I'm going to leave you feeling like crap. And I'm going to feel better, walk out there, so I've left you with my negative energy. So don't take that stuff on. Don't take that stuff on. There is nothing I can do for you. There's YouTube videos you can watch. There's a book you can watch. Or you can pay for my services. Do you know what I mean? If you're an executive coach or a therapist or whatever the case may be. Other people's problems have nothing to do with you. You can listen empathetically 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. After that, 4th, 5th time, send them to a therapist. Then send them to the pastor. Send them to something. Give them something for them to do so they not keep telling you about their problems. Number 2, during lunch, don't engage with negative people. Rather eat alone. When I learned how to say no to people in the nice people at the call centers, I started bringing a book to work. I would bring a book and I would read my book during lunch and eat my sandwiches. Because I really didn't want to deal with people's negativity. I really didn't want to deal with the pressure. So I went to lunch by myself and I went to breaks by myself. I would sit in my car and listen to my music and listen to my gospel music, whatever music, or, and do my meditations in the car and read a book. Don't engage with people. Don't engage during lunch. Number 3, if your job allows, wear headphones. If you can, wear headphones so that people don't come and bombard you with their stuff. We haven't learned how to be emotionally stable as human beings. We are still learning. We are evolving. I sometimes want to just vomit on other people. Not kind. So wear headphones and save yourself. Number 4, say no thank you to all invitations for happy hours and hanging out and dinner parties and dinner invitations where drama will ensue, right? When we get out of work, that's when we go gossip with other people. Did you see what she was wearing? Did you hear what the boss said? Okay, why engage in that stuff? Don't engage. Yes, it is part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Physiological needs, safety, loving and belonging. We all want to feel like we are loved. We all want to feel like we belong, but don't engage in that stuff. That stuff is bad news. As soon as people find out that you're a gossip monger, that you're a bully, that you want to pressure other people into stuff, or that you have a weak spine and you can't say no, guess what? You're not going to get very many promotions. Number 5, if you're shy, practice saying no in the mirror. We've talked about this 50 times in the morning and 50 times in the evening. Yes, that I hope that lesson has served you. I hope that it has served you. We all go through these emotional turmoils and emotional dramas. It's not, if you're going through this at work right now, you are not alone. Everyone has gone through this. And I want to close off this episode with a quote once again. Emotional drama is expensive and unnecessary. Avoid it at all costs, especially when it comes to other people's problems, because you truly don't have the ability to solve anyone else's drama. Only they can. And that quote is by me. And as a thank you for tuning in and staying with us for the duration of our Ubuntu live learning experience, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a soul healing session. And below in the description box, don't forget to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you'd love to connect with me on LinkedIn, head on over to LinkedIn. And before we sign off, please venture off to the Googles and search for futuregenleaders.com to download our show notes, savor more soul-activating live learning sessions, and receive the 10-minute self-validated meditation that helps you eliminate feelings of guilt for wanting to experience personal peace when everyone around you wants you to be caught up in their mental drama and their emotional hell. A $27 value, absolutely free to you, just for tuning in today. And remember, you are never alone. At FGL, we've got you. Niabong. Thank you so much. Sheshieni. Asante. Asante. Asante.